pleasant Friday to you. Welcome to Lone Star Park at Grand Prairie. He's Rodney Nelson. I'm Jim Byers. Got the same weather basically as last night. 62 degrees right now, overcast, fast track. And last night I noticed you lost the jacket late in the car.
Well, I just left it upstairs
for
one race. But I'll tell you, when I came down here, I wish I would have had it because it was a little cool. It got a little windy last night, a little breezy.
Yeah, it's a little breezy tonight, too.
Yeah, it wasn't anything unbearable. It was actually a nice autumn evening here in Texas, but nice enough to have a coat on.
Well, I thought it looked nice to see you go as the card went on with less apparel, just because, it just shows what a beautiful fall evening it is. Well, on we go to tonight. We've got 11 races. Last night, we had a feeling that there might be some good prices last night. 3 favorites did win, but only one of them was even money. The other 2 paid better. We each had a winner that paid decently, 2-1, 5-2. So let's see what happens tonight. First race features what I would consider one-hit wonders. These are 870s. These are allowance, non-winners of 2. Scratch the 3, Perry's Last Trick, who definitely had a chance. Scratch the 10, GF Farm Lady. Peeves Coyote Moon gets in. But there's a bunch in here that you could call them 870 specialists, I guess, but they're one-fers.
Yeah.
So you and I both went with the rail. One thing I will say before we get going, you might see some riders like Victor Urrieta Jr., for example, not in tonight. Ali Rivera, Nestor Duran. Well, the Evangeline Downs Futurity Trials are tonight over in Opelousas. So we have some different rider-trainer combinations and some top guys out tonight because they're riding over there. Okay, on to the
pretty sure they'll be back here tomorrow night, though, for the big races, no doubt.
Richest race in Texas tomorrow, Texas Classic Futurity. 2 other grade 1s, Derby and Refrigerator. So, yeah, they'll all be heading back. I don't know how you I've never gone from here to Opelousas. You got to hook up with an interstate somewhere, I would think, but it might be a long drive.
Some of these guys might actually be flying. So,
yeah,
I remember James Flores. He was telling me that he ended up getting his pilot's license.
Did he really?
Yeah, he'd been flying around for a while. He told me when he came out here and rode a couple weeks ago that he'd passed his checkoff ride. So you never know. Some of these guys might be flying over there.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is a quite interesting trip to get from here to there.
Yeah, I don't know if there's an interstate that runs directly to there.
Nah, you either got to go through
don't really
Shreveport
run to
or
Opelousas.
Houston, I guess. Yeah,
you probably go to Houston and over. That's a long haul, though. All right, on to the first. Rockulator, in my eyes, really missed the break last time, but I think if he doesn't miss the break here, he's going to be pretty tough.
Yeah, you talked about a bunch of these horses that had some tries at 870, and usually I love horses that have the experience at this distance, but Rockulator only 1 start at this 870 distance. I mean, it was a 3rd place finish last time out. That's good enough for me to pick this horse here in the first. One Heck of a Kiss, the 4 is going to be my second selection. This is a horse that has had a bit of a layoff, went from March to September, came back here and ran the race at the end of September at 870. Ran a good second in that one. That was a non-winners of 2 for the $10,000 tag. So making a second start after a layoff, I think this One Heck of a Kiss horse could have a pretty good run tonight. And Bobby Lee Dow, the named jockey, he's won a few races
certifiably
fairly
hot
recently. Yeah, he had one last night that was all right, and had a big money winner last week that I happened to pick.
That you had on top.
I was really excited about that one
for a while.
So, but yeah, I got it 1-4 here in the first.
Yeah, I went 1-8-4. I mean, respecting One Heck of a Kiss, it just seems like he doesn't really seem to want to get that last 20 or 30 yards very well, but he certainly figures in here. But I took Crypto, Tudor Jordan, first time on the stretch out. Had a really quick workout on November 11th, going 660, which is a nice prep for this, and wasn't completely disgraced in a couple of really pretty tough straightaway races earlier this year. On to the second. Maiden, $7,500 claimers. These are 3 to 5-year-olds, and they are going $250.
Yeah, so I'll take the rail horse once again, CRB Bebo. The last time out, this horse had a pretty decent run, missed by a length in that one. It was a 3rd-place finish. The horse was in for the $20,000 tag that day at this same 250-yard distance. Drops down in here tonight for $7,500. You would think that's going to help out CRB Bebo pick up that first win tonight. I think it will. Number 8, He's a Little Cartel is going to be my second choice. Horse was in a race last time, $7,500 maiden claiming race just like this tonight, but a lot longer than tonight's race. This one went $550 last time out. cuts back to 250 tonight. Hopefully that cut back in distance is going to help out. I mean, he's a little cartel, has run 250 yards once so far in his life, and out of these 12 starts, I got 10 of them in my book, so it was before that. So early on in this horse's career, hopefully getting back to one of these shorter distances. This horse can flash some speed like he did last time out. We should see this one up finishing in the money. And then I got number 4, Sugar Time Girl, as my third choice here. One that's coming in here for this claiming tag after running in a whole bunch of maiden races. See, the last time this horse was in for a tag was back at Louisiana Downs. Just missed by a length in that race. One of the closest this horse has been. So we'll see what happens. I got a 184 here in race 2.
Yeah, I'm on CRB Bebo as well. And had a really good, clean start last time and was just kind of okay from there. I mean, ran a nice third, only beaten a length. It was a good try and takes a nice drop today. So, all signs point to a possible graduation for him. I took not a flyer, but I'm going with an inexperienced filly, and Bellatrix as a second pick. First time out at Gillespie was 9-1. Ran in a Derby trial against some horses we've heard of, like Over the Moonin. It was well up the track in that one, but just kind of ran evenly. Was overmatched and drew inside. But now gets a better post. Has had some reasonably swift works. So you might keep an eye on how much is bet on Bellatrix. If she gets bet a bit, we had some horses bet hard last night that I didn't quite get. And some of them ran really well. But watch Bellatrix, see if she gets bet. On to the third. Scratch the 6, Fun and Fancy Dancer. This is a $20,000 maiden claimer for 2-year-olds, and they're going $220.
Yeah, I'm on MC Kiss My Cash. That's the number 5 horse here. 4 races for this horse, conditioned by Toby Keaton. Now, if you look, the first 2 races of this horse's career came in maiden races, and MC Kiss My Cash ran second in both of those. After those 2 maiden races, I guess they thought pretty good about her, paid up to the futurities. So they ran her in both the trials for the Dash for Cash and the Texas Classic. Didn't run the best in either one of those. I mean, impeded last time out, stumbled the race before that. So neither one of those comments are definitely any good for MC Kiss My Cash. But getting back down going into a maiden claiming for the first time, I think this horse is going to run nice tonight here with this field. Took one that's a bit of a shot for my second choice. That's number 9, 50 Toast to Scamper. Yes, something like that.
Yeah, 50. He was completely eliminated, forced in, bumped. That debut was a complete fiasco.
Right.
For him.
I mean, you see, impeded in that one.
Yeah.
So I love horses making their second start. This one's doing that. John Steinbo is the trainer. He hits at a very nice percentage. I mean, he's already had 15 wins out here this meeting, less than 50 starts. I think this one could get up there at a nice price. And then I got number 7, Andretti, as my third choice here. This horse is 2-1 on the line, but I think this horse is vulnerable. Can get beat here in this spot. Now, Andretti, this horse was in the TQ8 Sales Juvenile 2 starts back, finished 6 of 7 in that one, but I mean, that was a tough field. We saw Liberator come out of that one. Went into a maiden claiming race last time out for the $25,000 tag. Ended up 5th in that one, but was only beaten by a length, so it wasn't a horrible race, but I don't know. I think this horse can get beat here tonight. I got a 5.97 in race 3.
I saw this as pretty wide open, not just an absolute raffle wide open, but wide open enough that I'm going to take a Jose Luis Sanchez, the third firster in Brooks Tempting Lady, number 2. I had a bullet work on September 22nd and then came back on November 14th, and this isn't in your program, but we'll be announcing it. Earlier this week, worked 220 in 1191 breezing. That was the best of the morning out of 11 tries. So that might have affected her morning line because that work was after Rick did the line, and it might affect her odds too. If you saw on the program back-to-back bullet works, September 22, November 14th, it might have affected the betting, and it still might. Sanchez too is 13% with firsters, which is a pretty good percentage. So I'm going, because that includes firsters in trials and everything else. I'm going with Brooks Tempting Lady over Casey Kiss My Cash. One note, we'll also be announcing not 1 but 2 works this past week for the 4 DM Special Pilot, who worked back-to-back days, the 14th and the 15th. One's out of the gate and one's not. Race 4. A stakes race here, the Arabian Claiming Championship, $40,000 added at 7/8 of a mile.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one right here. So the last couple of Arabian races we've seen out here, there's been some heavy favorites, and you know what?
Yes.
The favorites gotten beat both times. Last night, I think the favorite ran third, and the first two finishers, I mean, they both paid like $40 to place each one of them.
And
so.
PSC Madison, who did wind up favored, looked on the line and on form like she might be pretty heavily favored, and she really wasn't pounded as hard as I thought she might be at the windows. Still wound up favored, but there were two other Arabians in there that took a lot of money. Yeah. And, none of them really ran well. Derby Glass, the rider we talked about the other day, who's mainly a thoroughbred rider, if not entirely, rode that Uptown Keep Me in Mind very nicely, saved ground, rallied off the pace, and got up and won it at a big price.
Well, let's see what happens here in this stakes race. So, I mean, this is a big stakes race. I think I saw from the Arabian Jockey Club on their social post earlier, this $40,000 purse is the second biggest in the U.S. this year, behind the one on Pimlico on Preakness
That's
Day.
a grade one President's Cup.
Yeah, so
too.
this is a pretty big purse here for these horses. I'm usually picking Ernesto Torres, but I got him on down the line today here in this race. I went with number 6, 400 Proof AA as my top choice here. So, we've seen this horse out here at Lone Star Park 7 different times in the course of his career, and has hit the board in 6 of those 7 starts, including 3 wins. Now, has only had one start out here this year. That was a starter optional claiming race, finished 6th in that one. But had some trouble in that race. So I'm going to kind of draw a line through that one, concentrate on the two at Retama earlier this year. They were both second-place finishes, came close to winning one of them. The race before those Retama was what I talked about on Preakness Day up there in the UAE President's Cup. Just didn't do anything in that race.
Yeah, I mean,
except walk around the track.
Yeah, dropped so far back that basically just jogged around.
Yeah, he just wanted to go up there for the Preakness, for the party, I guess. But some stakes races before that for the horse. I think 400 Proof AA's got a shot here, and I wouldn't mind seeing this horse win this race. Number 9, AA Take a Chance. That's going to be my second choice. This horse is coming in here off a second place finish last time out. That came at this 7 furlong distance, so you got to like that. Horse has run out here 5 different times, has a second and a third to show for it. Then I got the 10, Fleet to Sand, as my third selection, coming from the outside. This horse has some speed. You can see that. Yeah. This horse likes to get out there in front, but seems to get caught close to the end. So that's what I'm thinking is going to happen today. I think Fleet to Sand is going to get out there. Probably Fleet to Sand and 400 Proof AA. They're going to be running head-to-head, and I think Fleet to Sand's going to fade a little bit, but I do think the horse is speedy enough to get out there and hopefully get out there and stretch out that lead a little bit and be able to hold on for at least a minor placing here in this Arabian Claiming Championship.
Yeah, I use Fleet to Sand second just for the speed factor, because other than 400 Proof AA and maybe the rail mare RB Munchie, there aren't a lot that really like to head right to the front or seem to have that much early speed. But I'm going with Quick Ray AA, 5-2 morning line favorite. Ernesto Torres and Valdez Jimenez. 2 races ago, they dusted a field of $10,000 starter optional claimers. Then they went into a non-winners of 4 allowance. Found the going way too tough there, and Valdez Jimenez took off that night to ride for somebody else. And, they wound up running. They beat half the field, but they were beaten almost 20 lengths by Scorched and RB Malexis and Honeyproof. But I'm going to give Quick Ray another chance. He's coming back a little bit quickly, but I'm going to trust in Torres and take him here over Fleet to Sand. And our friend Jonathan Horowitz has RB Ratha Wayne in this race. And we've seen him report and write a lot about Arabian racing and filled in for us last year. Toward the end of the meet, which we appreciate. So, on to the 5th. 220 yards, maiden claiming 2-year-olds in for a $20,000 tag.
Yeah, I went with the outside horse, Corona Trace Eagle here. I think there's a lot to like about this 2-year-old gelding. Last couple races, both of them coming out here at Lone Star Park. Respectable finishes in both of those. Missed by 3/4 last time at 300 yards. Before that was a second missed by a head. I mean, this horse can fire out of the gate. We'll see what happens with the 10, but I got this horse on top here in this 5th race. Number 3, DM Prime Cash is going to be my second choice. Coming in here off a good race last time out. That was at the $10,000 level, so taking a step up here now to this $20,000 tag. With that last race at 220, coming close and just missing that one by a neck. I think the horse had a good run in there. And then I got number 1, DM Special Hawk as my third choice. Another one that's coming in off a second-place finish from right here at Lone Star Park. Went 220 2 starts back. Didn't have the best finish in that one, but let's see if this horse isn't getting back to it and see if he can't run well tonight. I got it 10-3-1.
Yeah, speaking of that, number 1 horse, DM Special Hawk, I went back and watched that race. You know, it was for 10K, and he's in for 20,000 today. I thought he hung in there pretty well. He ran a pretty good second. You're only beating ahead in this sport, going, flat out straight away. That's pretty good. And, he's pretty good against 10Ks. We'll see how he does today. But I went ahead and took Corona Trace Eagle as well. Main issue for him, I think, is gate behavior. He was not good in the gate the other day. He got out so-so, to say the least. In fact, poorly probably. But some of his other races he left okay. But he's got to be able to focus in that gate. I'm hoping that he will tonight. He's clearly the one to beat here, so I took him as the top choice. We all did. Race 6 starts today's pick 6. The carryover $2,737, $220 the distance, and this is a starter optional claimer.
Yeah, I've got the 6 GF Wild Thoughts here. This horse ran in a couple starter races, the last 2 right here at Lone Star Park. Real close in both of them. I mean, the last one was a 110-yarder. I mean, the horse missed by a neck, but pretty much all 10 horses were probably within a neck to a half,
pretty
right?
Close.
Yeah, but still being up there and finishing well in that race, I think it was all right. Race before that, a second-place finish. That was at 220, just like we're going tonight. So that's encouraging there. I mean, the horse picked up a win back at the end of August at Retama Park. So as of late, I mean, this horse has been picking up some decent wins or some decent races. If you look back to last year out here at Lone Star Park, horse had a pretty good year. A couple wins, a couple seconds, real close ones there. So we'll see what happens. But I'll take GF Wild Thoughts on top over number 5, Otts. Are we going to say Otts?
Yes Royal.
Yes Royal. All right. I'll take Yes Royal here as my second choice. This horse had a 220 last time out, finished 7th in that one. That was an open allowance race.
Yeah, facing one-time world's best horse, Dexter.
We also see he's a Jet 1, 2 starts back, won that race. I mean, we'll see him out here tomorrow night. Yeah. We've seen some other one. Creed was in there. We've seen Creed be a winner before. The horse has been running up against some tough ones. Hopefully, we'll have a pretty good showing tonight at some decent odds. 5-1 on the line. I like this horse at 5-1.
Yeah, you're going with the suck-along effect with Yes Royal to the inside. I'm going with the paint, the dual-registered one, VP Double Down Dash to the outside of GF Wild Thoughts. This mare, she's drawn the outside twice. In these 110 races like she had last time, I hate to draw the outside. I just think more of the winners seem to come from right in the middle. You got horses kind of pinning you in on both sides, and in a race like that where it's mostly all to start. I mean, she broke well last time and just was just beating the neck. Time before, she was fractious in the gate. So, again, another one that you hope behaves well in the gate. She appears to be a little nervous in the gate sometimes based on some of the comments. But I'm going to give her a shot, and we all have her, and she is the favorite. And I think rightfully so in there. In the 7th. Scratch number 6, Apolitical Goddess. Race number 7, 330 yards, maiden fillies and mares. These are 3 to 5-year-olds, and they'll go a distance of 330. And I'm chalky once again here, but you are not. You're gonna take a chance on this $450,000 yearling Reminder that is by Favorite Cartel out of Remember Me Rose, who's produced that laundry list of Grade 1 winners from Powerful Favorite to Cyber Attack to Cyber Monday, you name it. It would take 3 minutes to name all the major stakes winners that this horse is a half or a full sister to. Yeah. She hasn't quite performed up to it on the track yet, but she's one of those that, has run 2 nice races this week.
I was going to say it hadn't really worked out for Reminder yet. $450,000, a big chunk of change to spend on a horse like this that's only won $14,000 so far in her lifetime. But, hey, it's only a 3-year-old. She could run for a long, long time, I guess. But Reminder, this horse has been up there close in these races. That's why I feel bad about this. Feel bad for the horse, really.
Yeah.
Out of 5 starts this year, I mean, the horse has finished in the money in 4 of those 5 starts. You know, you look a couple of them, just missing by half a length here, half a length there. You know, always been up there close. The one where the horse was really, I'd say, blown out, finished 10th in a race down at Ruidoso, and that was a pretty big maiden race there. But you count that one out, I mean, this horse is right there. Should be able to compete. And hopefully, this one breaks her maiden tonight for Toby Keaton. I think this one's got a shot. Red Reason's my second choice. You'll talk about that horse in a second. Then I got I'm Easily Tempted third. This horse has run third 3 consecutive times. I really wanted to pick this horse higher. I thought this horse might have a chance here. 3 different distances in those 3 third-place finishes, 250, 400, 350, going 330 tonight, so mixing it up a little bit. James Gonzalez, a third, Francisco Calderon team up for this one. I think if this horse is going to fire, this could be the night that it happens. And I think if it's able to beat Red Reason and Reminder, you're probably going to get a pretty good price on this horse. And I wouldn't sleep on I'm Easily Tempted here in the 7th.
Well, I took Red Reason. It's not a very imaginative pick, but second off the layoff, had a really nice return. I wouldn't worry about the term hung in the short comments. She only lost by a head bob, basically. There was a horse last night. You picked the winner, and there was a horse that had about a neck lead, and inside the 70-yard pole. In the shadow of the wire, and lost to your horse by a zop. That horse might have hung a little bit. You wonder how that horse possibly did not win, although your horse finished extremely well. Red Reason, I don't think hung last time personally, the way I saw the race, and she was well clear of I'm Easily Tempted. It's kind of a logical pick. Sometimes logical picks can get you in trouble. Reminder, you want to see her break her maiden one of these days, but she's been she's been well bet almost every time out, and has just been close. Hasn't quite gotten there, but maybe tonight's the night. Maybe Keaton and Candanosa are going to have a big night with some of the other riders in the top 10 out of town. 8th race. These are all non-winners of 2 Life. That's not how the race was written, but it's how it worked out. 440 yards for 2-year-olds.
I went with number 3. He's a gamer. This horse has had a win and a second so far this year, but has been running in some tough races after that. Last time out, this horse was in a trial for the Texas Classic Futurity. Finished 8th in that one, but got cut off at the start. This horse has had trouble in every start except for one. In that one start that this horse didn't have any trouble in, won the race. So I'm hoping He's a Gamer avoids all the trouble tonight and is able to wire the field. I got number 10, Jesse's Hero, as my second choice. Last time out, this horse was in a trial for the La Fiesta Futurity. Ran second in that one, but was beaten by 2 1/4 to the next out winner, the winner of the La Fiesta, Flying Sophia.
Michael Joyner filly, who's really, really good.
So, getting blown out in the trial race by that horse, not totally bad. This horse was still the best of the rest. If you look at some of these other races, this horse has faced a lot of next out winners, it seems like. Jesse's Hero, that's my second choice. And I got the 8, Jess a Salty Candy, as my third choice. We'll see what happens with this one, but, it was a nice third, 2 starts back, a 4th last time out. Has never been out here at Lone Star Park before, but we'll see what happens. This horse did run in all the Futurities at Ruidoso earlier this year, so they got high hopes for this horse. We'll see what happens in this allowance race.
One thing I'll say, we have the same top 3, so not much to expand on, although Viva La Baron, man, did he look good in that trial in week number 2 of the meet for the Dash for Cash, and made the juvenile, and has been just up the track ever since. None of us, you used him 4th, eh? Yeah, I didn't use him at all, but how the mighty have fallen. But He's a Gamer last time, in my eyes, walked out of the gate and then was shut off. But that incident was not involved with the DQ. There was another rough start incident, and that's why this horse was moved from 8th to 7th. But his start was legitimately terrible. He broke slow and lost his path. And like you say, he has a lot of start issues. You got to hope for the best there, since we all have him. It's interesting that you and Rick and I all have him. He's 9-2 on the line. Wine Time is interesting. Filly on the inside, a favorite Cartel filly, made 2 Futurities. Didn't run much in either of them at Bally's Arapahoe. they're getting no respect. 20-1 on the line, so I had to throw her in there. I think she made 2 futurities.
Yeah,
maybe she's got. Jonathan Horowitz needs to comment on that. See if she can run it all. 9th race. 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of 2. 330 yards the distance. Scratch the 2 also eligibles.
All right, we both got the same top choice here. Number 5, My Sweet Jess. I think this horse is the one to beat. Those last 2 races, I mean, this horse was right up there close. Last time out, missed by 3/4 of a length in a 3rd-place finish. Horse that finished 2nd was a next out winner. Race before that was beaten by He's a Jet 1, who we'll see tomorrow night. I think My Sweet Jess is the one to beat here in race number 9.
I agree. I mean, I think he really sticks out in this one. In fact, I didn't even really care that much for his start last time, and he still ran a really nice race, even though he was 9-10 and was a beaten favorite. Broke inward, didn't really help himself a lot from the rail. Draws better now getting off that rail. I took Silencer second. The Dam of Silencer, Eagle on the Fly, was 6 for 19, multiple graded stakes placed. And I thought Silencer's first race of the meet last year was pretty good. Broke reasonably well. So I threw her in there for second, ahead of AJ Brazilian Gift, who was solid last time out against Maiden. Solid, to say the least.
Yeah, he was a winner, right?
Yeah, we had that Maiden winner yesterday that Luciano Duenas rode that you picked that had just drubbed Maidens. And I thought, well, let's see if they can do it again against winners. And that was one of the ones that I think won by a lip that you had.
Yeah, I had a couple like that last night.
You've got the photos going your way, but we shouldn't talk about it, or
I'll
the luck
lose
will
all
change.
of them for the year on out.
10th race. 3-year-old and up by allowance conditions. Non-winners of 3. Scratch the 2 alsos.
Yeah, I like number 2, Town Peak Senator. This horse was in the Rio Doce Invitational earlier this year, qualified for the Rainbow Derby, qualified for the Dash for Cash Derby. So, I mean, this horse is definitely quick to qualify for those derbies. I think that Town Peak Senator can take this one tonight. I got the 6 Stakeholder as my second choice. Last 3 races, this horse has been right there. Won last time by a neck, finished second by a neck 2 times before that. Got to respect Stakeholder here. And then number 8, Symbolic, is going to be my third choice. Was a winner 2 starts back, came close last time as well. I think there's a lot of different ways to go here. I do like Town Peak Senator on top, though, but race number 10, this is going to be a fun one right here.
Yeah.
A lot of good horses.
Yeah, I's a super freak. Usually gives a good account of himself and comes off a nice race. I like Town Peak Senator so much, I took him in the Dash for Cash Derby, and he did take a lot of betting in that race. And, I just didn't, just found it a little bit too tough, possibly. But I like him in this spot. I agree about Stakeholder. I picked him last time. And, there's some really nice breeding in here. Stakeholder is out of a mare named Ruth's Chris, who's produced a lot of good, useful type horses. And Stakeholder by Favorite Cartel. Normally, I don't think that much about the stallions because they sire so many of them. But when you see a Favorite Cartel in here, you got to kind of take at least a second look because his win percentage out here is pretty high. And then Symbolic, we mention this all the time. There's a really nice filly of just a few years ago named Ratification. She's a first Ratify, produced her, so Symbolic with that really, really good Bobby Cox breeding. On to the 11th. Final race, 10-cent or 20-cent jackpot super high 5. 9,209 is the carryover. Scratch the also eligibles here. This is a maiden race for 2-year-old colts and geldings.
Yeah, I went with 7 CR Salvage Fire. Second place finish last time out, was in a maiden claiming race for the $25,000 tag. Came right here at Lone Star Park. Had a good race in that one. Improved a lot of ground in that race toward the end. Goes 3:30 tonight, so adds on 30 yards. I think CR Salvage Fire might be able to get the job done over Cheeto as my second choice. I mean, I think there's a lot to like about this horse. Second place finish last time out, also for the $25,000 tag. And then I went with the number 3 horse, Jager, as my third choice. A third last time out. So all 3 of these horses I picked had pretty good finishes last time. We'll see if they can't put another one together here in the nightcap.
Great breeding in this one. Jaeger, you mentioned, is a full brother to A's and J's, who was a super mare, big top graded competitive Oklahoma-bred mare just a few years ago. I took a little flyer in here, although I think he's going to get bet a little more than the line. Bolt Action, number 4. Let's see if Toby Keaton passes along any thoughts to you in the paddock tonight. because Bolt Action, to me, the workouts are not that spectacular, but the Dam Genuine Joy produced a 2017 All-American Futurity winner in Imperial Eagle, who is a supreme racehorse, as dubbed by the AQHA. Genuine Joy was, she had a troubled debut when she was a racehorse, but then won her next four after she took some time off, so she might have gotten injured in that debut. But Genuine Joy was one that loved to win races, and in fact, she won 8 out of her 15 starts, produced an All-American winner. So this is a well-bred horse, only sold for $25,000. But I'm going to go with Bolt Action in a race where I think there is a lot of contention. I respect Yeager. I respect Cheeto. You got to respect Cheeto. It was a pretty good effort last time, even though he was the beaten favorite. Collateral, I think you got to look at him. So that's a good way to wrap it up. All right, that wraps up our program for tonight. We've got those beer specials again going on. So if you're in the mood for a beer, we've got Bud Light, Miller Lite, and Coors Light, $5 plus tax. And then we have those other special drinks, beers, 12-ounce cans of various things, including Topo Ranch water at the center bar right here on the first floor.
Yes, sir.
So check that out if you're in the mood for something. And Rodney will have his previews, and we'll have the changes coming up shortly. Enjoy your evening here at Lone Star Park.